I was lucky to work with very creative students who gave me ideas so innovative that I hadn't even thought about them. Without further ado, let's begin. The piece of advice number 1, given by Marifat Abdusharipova. When she studied with us, I told her to make plans for speaking part 2. And I told her to make as many notes as possible, but then she told me that she felt uncomfortable working with that plan and looking at those notes. So she asked me to give her a chance to speak without the plan. Of course, I wasn't stubborn. I didn't tell her to follow my rules. I made an experiment. I gave her 2 random cue cards of speaking part 2, and I asked her to make notes for one of them and just think about the other one. So when she spoke with the plan, she sounded quite unnatural, and she forced herself to look at the paper and make up some sentences from the details she had written. But when she didn't use any plan, when she only spoke, it was very natural, and I really liked the way she spoke without this paper. So she got band 8 in speaking, and let's talk about the advice. Can it help everyone? Definitely not. It only can help people who can improvise very well. So my improvisation is average. That's why I still make a plan. I write about 10 notes. But if you think that paper is uncomfortable to you, don't force yourself to make a plan like many people do and follow the strategy of others. Try to speak without the plan. Just think for a minute and improvise if you can. The piece of advice number 2, given by Kamala Ahmedova. When I taught her how to work with reading, I taught her how to scan and skim, the typical strategies for IELTS reading. But then she told me that she wanted to try something different. And I listened to her. She told me that it was very comfortable for her to read the whole text first and then answer the questions, while I usually begin with questions and then I find answers in the text. So I allowed her to work like she wanted, and as a result, she got band 9 in reading. Does it help everyone? I don't think so. It can help people who have pretty good memory. My memory is average, so if I read the whole passage, I can forget some moments. But Kamala's memory is decent, and if your memory is good too, you can try to work like Kamala Ahmedova. You can read the passage first and find answers later. The piece of advice number 3, given by Mahlia Kurambayeva. Mahlia was a very emotional student, and I think she's still emotional these days. So she could speak pretty well at home, but when I checked her on the mock test or when I talked to her, she felt very nervous and anxious, and she didn't know what to do. I gave her different recommendations, but she found the best advice on her own. It's kind of funny, but she printed my photo and a photo of some examiner. I think it was Tim from IDP. Anyways, she talked not to the mirror like many people do. She talked to the photo of her teacher, whom she was scared of, and the photo of the IELTS examiner. As a result, she became very confident and she got 8.5 in speaking. So, does it help everyone? I think, yeah, it can. If you feel uncomfortable, it's normal for the exam condition, but there is always a way. And if you talk to the person you are afraid of, if you face your fear, rather than talking to a mirror, you can become more confident and less emotional. Finally, the piece of advice number 4, given by Indira Yusupova. Indira registered in December, several years ago. Unfortunately, in December, that application, Speaking Assistant, was updated and many questions were added to the list. So she realized that it wasn't enough for her to practice with all the part 2 questions. Then she found a great way. And I've been telling this advice to all the students in every generation, provided by Indira Yusupova. So what she did, hold on. She didn't practice with every single question, but she took a notebook, divided every page into 4 parts, and wrote 4 plans for each question daily. So in 10 days, she could cover 40 new topics. That's amazing. She didn't even speak about them, but she prepared some ideas. And if you have an idea, you can speak without big problems. So does this advice help all people? Definitely. If you know what to talk about, you can feel safe and you can speak greatly. So new topics are coming. I think at the end of April, you will see a lot of new topics in Speaking Part 2. So if you don't have time to cover all of them verbally, you can still make a plan at home and find some ideas for the upcoming test. Take care.